He's coming off the shelf.
He's coming off the shelf.
Oh.
He's coming off the shelf. He told me I should be put on the shelf yesterday.
Really?
Yeah, you did.
Did I say you have elf life?
Hey, welcome into That Kingdom Come. We're a podcast where we talk all things Chiefs and NFL. Mainly Chiefs, though, because that's what we know. I'm Justyn. I'm sitting with Dionte. He's back.
Hello, hello.
He's back, baby. What up, man?
What's
How you
up?
been?
Good, man.
You've been busy.
Yeah, a little bit.
You've been
Little
pretty
bit.
busy.
A little bit.
Hey, which is all right, man. That's
bit.
all right. Dionte had a fill-in the past couple of weeks. It was Josiah.
Did a fantastic
who's
job.
back behind the camera right now. Say hi, Josiah.
Hey, what's up?
Fantastic
Hey,
job.
make sure you talk louder, bro.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, geez, like looking at the levels, you so quiet. You so quiet.
I talk at second string levels.
Second string levels, nice.
He needs to be on those commercials where they
Which
call
ones?
him the backup.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, the progressive commercials?
yeah. Yo, those commercials are hilarious.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
You can do my taxes.
Right? Who was that? Was in that one?
Jacoby
Jacoby-
Brissett.
Yeah,
Jacoby
Brissett.
Brissett coming in to do your taxes, bro. That's crazy.
He found the problem. So
They found the problem.
important.
But yeah, man, we're glad to have Dionte back. Definitely better with him. He kind of keeps us on the stats.
I pretend.
Keeps us on the stats a little bit more. He knows. He reminds me of things I should be saying. Like there's a couple times we missed some stuff. Like when Travis Kelce tied oh my gosh, I almost said Trent Green. Tony Gonzalez. When Travis Kelce tied Tony Gonzalez for most touchdown receptions by a Chief all time, we didn't mention it in that episode. We forgot. But that's all right. That's all right. So yeah, man, we're just gonna kind of jump into it.
What you got? What you
We're gonna
got?
start with the news, injuries, and signings. We actually have a little bit of all three this week, which is kind of crazy to say. In week 15, we have a signing.
Yeah, it seems like just a little bit about every week.
Yeah, right. Last week we didn't, which is crazy. The week before we did. Anyways, so McCole Hardman before Sunday's game was put on IR since we had already recorded our videos. We couldn't tell you guys. Looks like a knee injury, which should slate him back, get him some rest, slate him back for return around the week 18, get him ready for the playoffs. Which honestly, at this point, we're 12-1 now. Like, let's get our guys some rest if we need it.
Yep.
Let's not force the issue. We need those guys in the playoffs. DJ Humphrey started this week, and then subsequently left in the fourth quarter with a hamstring injury.
Jeez.
Now, I will say I think he did a little bit better in the second half. We'll talk about more of that later. But Wanye Morris came in, filled in for him. He set to get an MRI on his hamstring this week. I don't know if he got it yesterday or not. We're recording this Tuesday morning, but we don't have results from it yet. So we'll see what happens there. Another one, which is kind of a huge hit because he's been playing really well. Joshua Williams went out with what looked like to be a concussion. They started initially testing him for that. Turns out it was a chest injury. I'm not sure to what extent. I couldn't really find any updates on him. Andy Reid said he was feeling better, though, so we should see him back soon, in my opinion. Hopefully he can take some time. Maybe Najee Johnson gets a little hair in his butt to step it up a little bit.
Yeah, me too.
And Shamari Connor as well. It's also looking like Hollywood Brown is slated for return on Christmas Day.
That's
So
exciting.
we've been speculating about what week he'll return. So that's just 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
That's literally 2 weeks away. So really exciting.
Good news.
Great news to have another downfield threat. And realistically, that's what we needed this year, right?
Yep.
That was the guy we were going to build around this year to help train our young guys, So having him and D-Hop back together again.
Oh, man.
Just in a different color red, man.
Nice little duo.
Nice little duo. Kyler Murray had quite the season when they were together
Yeah.
down there. So pretty excited. Big news this week. Huge news. Former Steelers, Eagles, Texans, and Chiefs cornerback Steven Nelson signed to the practice squad on Monday. He officially unretired
Yeah.
to sign back with the practice squad on Monday. I'm not sure how I feel about this. While, bless you, we do need help at corner. Our help comes from a 31-year-old unretired defensive back that's been sitting on the couch since he retired, right? So Josiah and I had a little bit of a conversation about this.
He's coming off the shelf.
He's coming off the shelf.
Oh,
He's coming off the shelf. He told me I should be put on the shelf yesterday.
really?
Yeah, you did.
Did I say you looked elf-like? No?
I take offense to that.
Really? It's
I'm a
Christmas
dwarf.
time. Okay.
If you watch any Lord of the Rings
No,
movie,
he's calling you skinny. That's good.
I'm
skinny,
a dwarf.
and you could you
Skinny.
and you can and,
Yo, only thing skinny about
and
me
you can.
is nothing.
Okay,
Anyways, so
We did talk about it.
we talked about him like coming off the couch. Josiah was like, yeah, but Kareem Hunt came off the couch as well. So I think other
And he
people
was
kinda,
eating potato chips.
Yeah, I think other people would kind of have this opinion too. While Kareem Hunt was eating potato chips, he was also actively trying to get onto a roster at the time.
Yeah.
Steven Nelson was retired, not trying to go anywhere, right? And he's like, I'll return for the right team or whatever. So he might have been working out, but he wasn't actively trying to gain a roster slot somewhere, which
True.
is a completely different workout. You know what I mean? So I feel like it might be almost like a DJ Humphries thing where he might need a little bit to get back to game speed. He might get burned a few times before he kind of settles in.
In which I wish we could have gave Humphreys like another week
Yeah,
just to get more of that.
I agree.
That
Hamstring injury probably doesn't happen.
yeah, just because of that game speed and just more of the movement going on. But I mean, who knows? It
Who knows?
could have not happened, but
Right.
unfortunately, it did.
Yep, I agree with that. And now going into the draft era of the off season. So going into the draft season, I don't know. Going into the draft, Steven Nelson was ranked by PFF as the 9th best cornerback this offseason, behind Joshua Williams and Trent McDuffie at 7 and 8, respectively. Now, that was about a month before Steven Nelson decided to retire. But it's something to be interesting to see. There was a little bit of bad blood when Steven Nelson left the Chiefs back in 2018. That was also under Bob Sutton's defense, so that might have had a little bit to do with it. Steve Spagnuolo's defense, completely different, right?
And the way he leads,
there's
different things.
different mindset. Bob Sutton was, I feel like, almost more old school with the kind of like Eric Bieniemy, where he's gonna be not your best friend and try to get onto you, right?
Did we have, and maybe you can check this out if you don't know off the top of your head, 'cause I couldn't, or just the thought of it. Was Dave Merritt the cornerback coach when Bob Sutton was here? I feel like no.
I don't think he was.
But
if when Dave Merritt came onto the Chiefs.
And Dave Merritt now with, and what he's done in the quarterback room, again, some totally different dynamic and leadership and staffing
Right.
that's there that brings a whole different outlook to it. So
100%. That big staffing change definitely had something to do with the mindset of the team.
Dave Merritt is in his 6th season.
Yeah, so he wasn't here.
Yep. Okay.
So
yep.
his first season
I
was
thought that was
2019.
Yep.
So he came in with Steve Spagnuolo then. So Spags brought that Dave Merritt in.
Plus, you do have to remove, kind of the statement that he did make, at the end of his campaign here, a broad statement around
Negative view of Kansas City.
Yeah, and I think because of probably what he experienced, let's say business-wise with the team, obviously doesn't compare to putting that same statement as Kansas City itself. So we'll show some grace if you help us win.
Right. I mean, I think a big thing about Andy Reid and Brett Veach and Clark Hunt is, hey, we like to give second chances. And this is your chance to do so.
Bro, it's the year of the comebacks.
Yeah. It really is, man. It really is. Look,
This
at
is
people,
what, the third that we've had with
Third.
the Smith-Schuster, Hunt, and now Steven Nelson.
No, you got Wright, the kicker.
Yep.
Right.
It's another.
Yep.
Yep.
Matthew
Right.
Wright came
'Cause
back.
He was here.
Oh, he was here.
Yep.
Wow.
The brief little stint was at 22.
It was 22 when the season Bucker got hurt early in the
First
season.
game
Yeah.
against Arizona. Yeah.
Wow.
So we're it's a year of comebacks, man.
Yeah.
For Chiefs players, and I'm not mad about it. So far, every decision that has been made, yet to see with DJ Humphries, excuse me, every signing this during the season has been a really good one, not just a good one. No, it's been a great. Every signing has been great.
And what I appreciate is that the front office staff is looking at and trying to improve where we can. You know,
Right.
Where last year, just the receiver room so horrible, we wasn't adding anybody. We didn't do anything about a trade deadline. We just wasn't doing anything. Mm-hmm. And you kind of was like, where are they? You know, why aren't they looking to give help in these areas? I mean, it just panned out that even through what we face in regular season, we go in the postseason and win the Super Bowl. But you know, I love the fact that you know they're trying to. They understand the goal at hand, at longevity for this season and getting there, and they're trying to do what they can. I mean, we've added tight ends, defensive linemen, receivers, now cornerbacks. They're looking running backs. I mean, the only place we haven't is quarterback. The offensive line. So they're trying to add wherever we can that we see those deficiencies, and so that's what I appreciate of what they're doing. Even with the little money we have, they're making some things just to try to help get better, and
And I think a lot of these guys are one they'll come on for like minimums, just because they want to be a part of a winning culture.
Yep.
Right? Like Colin Saunders made a comment on Twitter saying, if I wasn't a part of the Chiefs, I wouldn't believe this either. But he was a part of the culture, so he understands that we just win. We're prepared to win. We do everything we can to win. So it's great to see the front office really selling out for this year.
Yep.
They really are. In a good way, not like selling out like
getting rid of players and stuff,
out?
but
right. We're doing the good side of the selling out. So we have officially clinched the AFC West for the 9th straight season.
Would you look at that?
Would you look at that? Who'd have thought? That's second to only Tom Brady and the New England Patriots from 2009 to 2019. That being said, we have also won 15 straight one-score games, with 6 being decided on the final play the final drive of the game just this season.
Yeah.
That leading into our recap of the week, right? So we win. Woo!
Yes.
we win. Not without stress and just absolute turmoil at times. But Chiefs won. We won 19-17 on a last-second field goal by one of those signings you talked about, Matthew Wright, which makes him the 3rd kicker to win a game on a field goal with time expiring this season for the Chiefs.
And what's that little saying, or people have, like they're saying right now? Doink the division, or doink in the division, or whatever.
Doink for the division.
Yeah.
Doink for the division. That might be that. I might put that on the thumbnail.
Yeah, you need something. Like
Doink. It'll be that picture and just say doink.
Oh man,
that's such a fun word.
Yeah.
So, what's your initial reaction for the game, man?
actually, I was watching the game with Josiah.
Y'all need to invite me over,
You
bro.
go to bed at 8:00, bro. Like, I didn't think you'd want to be out.
He didn't even think you were watching the game.
I
Even though you have to prepare for a Chiefs podcast.
I didn't know if you were going to be up to the 4th quarter, like, because you've been going to bed at like 8:00.
I'll give you guys that. But there were 2 earlier games in prior weeks that you guys didn't invite me to.
This is
Was
true.
it?
But we didn't get together for that. Actually, one of those we
You
got together.
were together last week
No, we were there together on Thursday.
or Thursday.
Thursday night. That wasn't the Chiefs game.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're right.
that
You're
was
right.
the
You're
Chiefs
right.
game.
You're right.
And then we got
Okay.
together for the Raiders one over Discord.
You and I
a couple
did,
weeks ago.
yes.
A few weeks ago. Anyway.
Okay,
Yeah,
all
thanks for the
it's
invite
not as
for
bad.
Discord.
It's not as
See,
bad.
no,
We
actually,
did
you
invite
did.
you. We did invite you to Discord. What do you mean?
That's true, you did. But
Anyway.
yeah, my reaction.
Yo, this is why we need Dionte here, man. It's just hilarious.
No, I'm second string. But it's so funny because I had said, I was like, you know what? If we lose this game, I'm not even going to be mad because we did it to ourselves. Although I would have been mad.
Right.
Yeah,
Because
of course.
the way that when that kick took place,
Dude.
I about jumped out of my chair and lost it. Like,
you did jump out of
I
your
did.
chair
I
and
did.
walked to the front door.
I did.
Took a look outside and then came back.
I just wanted to see if anybody was out there because I was about to run out and lose my mind. So,
Why is Dionte taking off his clothes?
oh my gosh.
Streaking down the street. Yo, I smacked my desk so hard. I smacked it and then I went to get up and then smacked my knee on the bottom of the desk. I'm pretty sure I have bruised knee. And,
He is questionable for next week's podcast.
I was questionable for today. We're going to get an MRI this week and make sure everything's good. And then we'll see how the rest of the season turns out. Maybe I'll go on IR to prepare for the postseason.
They may have to bring back a former player.
Bring
Oh,
back a former
perfect.
player. What is happening?
I don't know.
So your initial reaction, like for the doink, was
Oh, yeah. And I think just because, like, realizing it was about to potentially happen of us losing, I was like, yeah, I am mad.
Well, and the anticipation was building ever since like we got Kelsey got us the first down.
Yeah.
Because we were like, what are we gonna do? And then the seconds ticked by, and we're like, okay, this is about to happen.
So I was told by Josiah, we haven't really talked about the game yet. We try to save our conversations of the game for the podcast, so it's like natural, kind of raw or whatever. And when you're not here, that's when we converse about it. But so I think running the clock down to 1 second to kick a field goal with no time left was the right decision. I was told that you would have preferred us to at least try for a touchdown.
Yeah, my thought was, even if we just ran the ball, right, that, we can at least either, one, get farther, closer, get closer if we was going to do a field goal,
right,
or potentially score with the thought that, even if they're allowing you to get in the end zone, you don't have to get in there. Kind of like last night, to be honest, Jamar Chase gets that pass and starts taking off, and consciously he probably at some point should have went down closer because they left a minute and a second left on the clock for Dallas to have a chance.
And they had 3 timeouts.
Yeah, with 3 timeouts. So I just, it was like if we would at least run the ball, you got 2 running backs that can get us closer. And sure, maybe we do the first run on that first down and they get us to, he stops and at the first or 1 or 2 yard line. Well, when he gets there, I mean, we can kneel the ball another time and then let's take a shot. A run in the end zone.
Yeah.
And with a little bit of time left is what my thought was, just to kind of shore up that part because, I mean, like we saw, kicking sometime is hard, We've seen some block stuff, which we did, So it was just the thought of that. And I get it. You're like, man, well, no risk for fumbles and everything. And this is what we're paying the guy to do. I get it. I just would have liked to see that. So then it would have applied more pressure. But I guess look at what you said.
Yeah.
It kept the game in the control of our hands. And it was our decision, kind of like the Broncos.
Yep.
What they did.
Yep.
And we just happened to block the field goal.
Well, and my thought immediately goes to the week before where we played the Raiders, where if they would have just kneeled the ball twice, they had a first down, you kneel the ball twice, that's bad snap, you're within field goal range. Like easy field goal range for Daniel Carlson, right? So there's that portion where if they would have just like ran the clock down and then kicked the field goal, they probably would have won that game. So I think with that also being in the head, like you want to make sure something like that where a bad snap doesn't happen. You risk the chance of somebody could obviously there's the potential to fumble on the kick or whatever to miss the kick, like which he almost did. As soon as it was off the foot, I thought he missed the kick. I legit thought
Yeah, by the way, the holders' hands went up, and then he was putting it down.
Well, and like you saw,
it was looking like a disaster.
The ball was spinning end over end, almost sideways. You know what I mean? It was at like a 45-degree angle kicking instead of it being right up and down, which it kind of has to be when you're kicking from the right hash to the goalpost because you gotta, But Matthew Wright also has had a tendency to purposely try to hit the uprights in practice, because if you can hit the uprights in practice, there's a chance that you're going to be way more accurate in the game, right? So,
Andy Reid in the locker room said, all right, Matthew Wright, just next time, take the ball a little more to the right.
Yeah. Right. And when Andy Reid gave him how about those Chiefs?
Yeah.
Matthew Wright was like, Chiefs, and he's like, all right, don't get too excited.
Yeah. He's probably still in shock, like, he almost messed that up for us.
He was like, he was just smiling. It's like, Chiefs. It was hilarious. So, yeah, man, that's kind of my initial reaction to. I wrote some stuff down, but realistically, like, outside of it, it's not really like that's probably more of my initial reaction to with the David Wright thing.
Yeah.
We can't go into like Patrick Mahomes being. Wait, did I say David
Matthew?
Wright?
Yeah.
No, you said
that.
Jameis.
You know that. You know that. We just.
You said
I keep trying to say David Wright. David Wright was a baseball player.
Yeah, I think so.
Next time you're gonna say Nick Wright.
Who?
Next time you're gonna say Nick Wright.
No, I'm gonna say Dudley Do Right.
I like it.
But Patrick Mahomes was pressured on 12 of his first 19 dropbacks.
Yeah.
Right? So in that first half, I was angry.
Yeah.
Right? I was so angry, which I think really affected the way he threw the ball in the first half. And then, we got the touchdown right before the half ended. Then we came out and really DJ Humphrey settled in. And there were only 5 more pressures given in the next 28 dropbacks. So, which is good.
Yeah.
I think Mahomes kind of trusted the line to block a little bit more. You could see Humphreys get a little more leverage on the ends. There were a couple that just really good moves. I mean, the Chargers have a fantastic.
I mean, those 2 outside rushers are. They're future Hall of Famers when you think about their stats when they hang it up.
Yeah.
With Khalil Mack and Bosa, they're 2 outstanding ends that are. Well, they're no chumps. At all.
Neither of them are leading their team in sacks.
Yeah. So that's saying something with the
their linebackers are great. Their linebackers jump out to end sometimes, So it's really
Derwin James pressures,
man.
which he brought. I think the one that he had that sack. I think it was where we missed they missed the dual block there, and he came free on the outside. But yeah, they their front is causing some trouble.
Yeah, causing havoc, man. And they're doing a great job. The Chargers next year are going to be absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, they have surprised me because we was talking.
I think I picked
before
them
the
to finish
season,
the bottom of the league or
yeah,
something.
we was talking about they were pretty done for, and Harbaugh has brought a culture in himself that these players like.
He was limping on the sideline too throughout the game.
Yeah,
did you hear why? I don't know why, but Harbaugh was limping on the sideline. But anyways, so going out of like Mahomes getting all those pressures on him. He did wind up going 24 of 37 with 210 yards and a touchdown. Again, not turning the ball over.
Yes. No interception.
No interceptions, which leads me into kind of my key plays.
What you got
for the week? Patrick Mahomes is officially a game manager.
Mm-hmm.
He's officially a game manager. And I say that because we're used to Patrick Mahomes' 2-minute drill, right? Going down the field, scoring quick when we need to, right? We don't give the ball back when that happens. 2 minutes we can do it, or we score really quick and they get the ball back, but our defense holds, right? But with our defense not really being able to hold in the fourth quarter lately, we got the ball back in the fourth quarter with 4.5 minutes left, essentially. I think it was like 4:35, and really, the goal was to drive the ball down the field and leave no time on the clock, which we did.
Yeah.
So we found out that Patrick Mahomes was able to not just run a hurry-up offense, but he was able to kind of methodically move the ball and take time off the clock.
Yep.
Right. So, and we trusted our running backs.
Yeah.
On that
did.
last drive, which we should have been doing more throughout the game.
Yes.
In my stinking opinion, I digress.
Yeah, we was talking a little bit about that, where I was just like, man, we have these two dual backs who, before Pacheco got back, I mean, nearly Kareem Hunt was averaging almost 20 carries a game.
Right, with like 60+ yards a game.
Right. So it was like, why are we not? I mean, it wasn't like we were so down to where we needed to throw the ball, but it was we should have been getting the ball to those guys and removing some of the pressure. And this is like we'll get to it later.
Well, the Chargers were giving up the most rushing yards to teams this season going into the game, like 146 rushing yards a game. And we ran the ball. Can you see how many times we ran the ball? But
we had 25 carries, which 4 of those was from Mahomes.
Right.
So basically 21 carries from the running back standpoint.
It's not enough, man.
No.
Like
Kareem Hunt had that in most of the games that he's played since he came back.
And that's in addition to like Carson Steele and Samaje Perine getting carries.
Right.
Right. So it's one of those things where just because it's not like Pacheco was only getting like 2 yards a carry. He was getting almost 4 yards a carry. And then Kareem Hunt, the more you run the ball against a team like that, the harder it is later in the game for them they're going to be more tired, right?
Yeah, and you keep those ends honest, the defense ends honest, to where they cannot just go straight up the field and drive, but it keeps them a little bit back. And then when you get into the fourth quarter, late within the last 5 minutes of the game, and when you have the ball and trying to work some of that time, they're not now loading the box because they know, they're about to run the ball now, and which on a couple of occasions they did, and, stopped us for not much gain. And so, again, it just keeps the defense on their toes of what's going to happen, when we can't lose sight of, what's really been helping open up a lot of things and finish out some games, which has been the rushing game.
Yeah. Yep, that's been difficult for us, is actually rushing the ball. I mean, last week, or against the Raiders, we only rushed the ball 4 times in the second half. Until the last drive, I believe we'd only done it like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, because Pacheco had 7 and Kareem Hunt had 7 carries in that game. 14 together. So, I don't know.
So it's it's just it was just frustrating until that moment.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see that we went to understanding, hey, we need to run the ball so we can run time off this clock, and we trusted our guys to get first downs when we needed to.
Yep.
Right? And especially like Patrick Mahomes' little dupe on Derwin James.
Yeah,
he's running. He's just like, tuck in arm. How many times has he done that?
Oh.
Like, he's going out and just like barely steps. And everybody's like, oh, how did the defender not hit him? Man, I tell you what, Patrick Mahomes is one of the shiftiest guys.
Yeah.
The fact that he was running and just tucked in that elbow. That's all it was. And if Derwin James would have hit him, Patrick Mahomes would have been like 20 yards back.
Yeah, it would have been hit pretty hard.
He flew past Patrick Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, those are kind of my key plays. Do you have any other key plays that you could think of?
Yeah, I love the Travis Kelce, the catch that he made on one knee. That was a key play for me because he wasn't supposed to run that route.
No.
That wasn't even his original route.
He's back, baby.
And so as he just, felt where the defense was, he just found the spot. And, of course, and when Mahomes kind of is on his scramble game, like not that when we want to see because of pressure,
right?
But when he does move outside the pocket, the receivers just know to run with him.
Yep, find an open spot.
And Travis Kelce did, which was like that turning point to solidifying, that part right there. And I think, and that was huge.
Yeah.
Even to the fact he's like, listen, I want nothing else to happen. I'm catching the ball,
and I'm
and
just
even if
standing
they
here.
hit me, I'm just.
He didn't try to get up. He didn't try to
giving
move.
myself up.
He understood the moment.
Yep.
And he's like, we're in like give me field goal range right now.
Yep.
I'm not going to fumble the ball. I'm just going to hold on to it. Who's going to hit me? Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I love that.
So that was great.
Yeah. And then I loved seeing, D-Hop getting the touchdown.
Yeah.
They say that he's a veteran guy, and has played, some years in the NFL. But they say he's the guy that hates when he even has to come out of practice for reps for someone else.
Yeah.
That's the type of mentality he has because he just wants to put in the work and get better. It's not that he's like, give me the ball and I'm selfish,
right.
but he just wants every rep possible that he can get, and also show these guys like, be hungry no matter, when you're just a few years in, middle of the years, or you've been in the league for a little bit. Be hungry for the opportunity that you have, because when the opportunity presents itself, like we need you to step up, And so I think he's, shifting that mentality, hopefully some of these younger guys and some of those receivers to, continue after it. So I love he's getting involved, and, they found him to get him a touchdown. Could have almost had another one, but he took a big hit and, he, still stayed in the game or whatever, but I just love that involvement, and man, the dude just got some hands, bro.
Dude, he's got hands.
He got some hands.
There was one that hit his hand earlier in the game that I think he probably could have caught.
Oh yeah,
but it did wind up being DPI on it, like defense pass interference. So that's kind of a wash.
Yep.
But I still think like that one he probably could have caught.
Yeah.
So going into next week, what kind of things do we need to improve?
So, and this is why I said we'll talk about it in a minute. I think that we, let me think of their mind. But the coaching staff, I think they understand. But we got to keep running the ball.
Yeah,
we got to stay on the ground.
It's been the same thing the last 3 weeks. We've said
we got to stay on the ground, and because what that does, and I think that we need to, man, without Rashee Rice, which I think would have, the way that they work him in the offense, maybe show some difference, and I don't know why we're not utilizing a little more in like Juju or DeAndre, but we gotta run some shorter routes. I think we need more shorter routes.
Yes, because
of the fact with shorter routes and running the ball, we're helping the line.
Yes,
the line itself.
Yes,
I know we're trying to chip in some ways, which I guess has been fine because when you think about it, we don't really throw a lot to our running backs.
Right.
So it's not like they're being removed because a lot of times we're running dual tight ends with a couple, receivers. So there's a lot that can go out of there. So, utilizing more maybe some chip with the running back, and then we got to run some shorter routes and keep rushing the ball so we help our offensive line.
Yes.
And plus, when you have three of the best interior linemen, run behind those guys. That's also a boost for them. That's something for them as well, as you're trusting them to win their battle, so we can move the ball, which we've seen with how much Pacheco and Kareem Hunt averages, through a game. So we got to continue to do that because we got to help out the ends. Which no penalties by Juwan Taylor, no penalties. He stayed on the line. I think there was the borderline. The one he did move.
Yeah.
I think later in the game a little bit that the announcers made a comment about it.
There's an entire video that we did where I ranted for like 7 minutes about that. Go watch that. We're not going to talk about it anymore.
But yeah,
I'm not doing it again,
Yeah.
Josiah.
I just
talked about it enough. But
yeah.
But yeah, I think that again, good for him. No penalties.
Yep.
He played well. So again, I think they, except for the one play where Mahomes calls out the read, and you even hear and you even hear Trey Smith said you got to move. And then obviously that gets blown up, and that hurt there. But I think with some of those parts that will help our offensive line. And just continue to just move the ball. And what I did also like from this game was, I think it was 2nd and 3 or 4 or something later on in the game. And how we talked earlier, they trusted the running backs, and we ran the ball. Yep. Rather than doing some pass and then potentially 3rd and 2, whatever. In most cases, we've thrown another pass. They ran the ball, which we got the first down. But again, that's that just keeps a balanced offense, and it keeps those defensive lines just from running up the field. So I think those are those key improvements for me for this next game against the Browns, especially with one of the best outside rushers in Myles Garrett. So I think we got to utilize those 3 guys in the middle
for sure,
and and just improve to help our offensive line.
So for me, I'm going to keep it short and sweet because I've said it the past few weeks as well. But we have to be better in coverage on non-Trent McDuffie side, and we have to score in the red zone.
Yeah,
we're 4 of our last 11 trips to. Is it 4 of 11? I think it's 4 of 12. I'm sorry. 4 of 12 in our last 12 trips in the red zone, we've scored a touchdown. Because we were 3 for 9 going into this week, and we were 1 for 3 this week. So we have got to score more in the red zone. So
and I will say this about the scoring. And sometimes in the game when we're watching, we get frustrated when the defense give up a score in the 4th or something like that. But what you also have to realize is we held these boys to 17 points.
We did.
And as we're holding teams to, these level of points, which, was right around our average of last year, the mindset is looking at if we're only giving our opponent 17 points, we have an offense and we have, one of the best quarterback, the best quarterback in the league right now, that we should be able to score more than, where we're holding them to 17.
Yep.
So I think still, as far as some of the mistakes and different things, we do need to prove for sure. Secondary, we're not getting any sacks. We're not getting any turnovers. The pressures, when you get pressures, that helps the turnovers with some of that. And that's why our margins is not more for points because we're not getting extra possessions to the offense. But I just think that, beside that, defense is still playing well, holding teams, under these 20 points. And we just, again, like you said, we got to score more in the red zone.
And eliminate penalties in the red
because we're
zone.
not getting more possessions.
Right.
We have to capitalize on those possessions in the red zone. So,
and I think the biggest thing that's hurt us is penalties.
Yeah,
offensive
that is
penalties.
true. That is true.
Like Trey Smith headbutting a guy when it's 3rd and 1 inside the 20.
We've just done some dumb stuff.
So, all right, man. So,
so speaking, I just wanted to get your guys' take on this. What was the deal with the Chris Jones timeout that was called?
So
just miscommunication.
Yeah,
it's what it looked like.
He was thinking that he didn't hear the play call of what was coming in or what was going on. And and you saw his Spags, he's like, "We're fine, we're fine."
It's fine.
Yeah.
And
it's really trusting what right?
Yeah.
And he, I mean, maybe he saw something different than he was expecting. Chris Jones. I mean, he's a leader on that defense.
Yeah.
Right. He is a leader on that defense, and that drive did end up in a touchdown for them, didn't it?
We ended up that when we came out that play, we had to stop. No, we stopped them. And then I think they got the first down, and then I think that ended in a field goal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it just looked like a simple miscommunication.
Yeah.
Well, and it's one of those things where you got to make sure you're all on the same page. It was a 4th down.
Yeah.
Right. Or it was a.
Was it 3rd?
No, that was for 4th down. They were going for it on 4th down.
Oh no, we stopped them on that one. Didn't we stop them on that one?
Nope.
We didn't.
No, they got the first down
Lost that one.
after he called the timeout because it was 4th and 2.
Oh, that's right.
And
that they
so,
end up getting that
got the first
really
down
didn't matter of the timeout. That's right.
So,
that's right. I do remember.
Yep. So yeah, that being all good, we won. Woohoo!
Yes.
Another thank you, Matthew Wright. Doink for the division.
Yep.
Going into this week and the Browns, who have been feisty. Over the past few weeks. You stupid. He said, so Browns ranked 22 in total offense 13th passing offense, 29th in rushing offense, which plays both into the Chiefs' weaknesses. Chiefs like weakness and their strength, right? So we're really good at rushing defense, but we're terrible at passing defense. So they stink at rushing and they're good at passing, decent at passing.
Was Jameis Winston?
Jameis?
Yeah, he is getting the start.
Yep.
But yeah, lately, I mean, he's been slinging that ball.
Yeah, but they're also 29th in scoring offense.
Yeah,
so they're not turning good plays into touchdowns.
That's why they're 13th in passing. They've been throwing the ball a lot, and he's making
turning the ball over.
Yeah,
he turned the ball over in the red zone twice last week.
Yeah,
kind of crazy.
It's been a point of his career.
Now, when it comes to their defense, they're 24th in total defense this year, 19th in passing defense, 23rd in rushing defense, which means we should run the ball. Feed the running backs.
I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
Run the ball.
God, I heard that one.
Deborah. Everybody love Raymond? Anybody? No? Okay. Got it. White show.
You do.
So, all right. So, what are you worried about with the Browns? Like with all those stats I just gave, because those are accurate stats. I mean, Jameis Winston did throw for 450 yards, 4 touchdowns last week.
Yeah,
but he did also throw 3 interceptions.
Yeah.
So, what worries you?
Probably the fact that Jameis Winston can be a little sneaky, and they make some stuff happen. But if this a game we need some turnovers, like let's get it this game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But honestly, I think it's probably just probably the Myles Garrett.
Yeah,
they got rid of they traded off Zadarius Smith, so that kind of helps. But I think Myles Garrett,
he wreaks havoc on defensive ends.
Mm-hmm. And because of how shaky that side has been, it worries me there because of what we may have to do to compensate for that.
Yep.
And that's probably like my biggest worry. Like we can't underestimate them, right? We understand that, and the mindset should be that they can't.
Right.
I just, they need to go out, play, execute, and we just got to score more in the red zone. But that's defense, and then offense. Jameis Winston, he can put up some numbers at times.
Well, he's a shifty guy. He just makes those awkward throws.
Yeah, and they're not. And right now, because they don't have anything to lose, they're not afraid to move the ball down the field as far as throwing it.
Yep.
I mean, Judy, Elijah Moore, and Cedric Tillman has been, and Njoku, they've been having some games of a ton of yards. Sure, they're
Judy against the Broncos had like 260 some odd yards.
Yeah. When at the game he had four touchdowns and 3 picks?
Yeah.
Jameis Winston?
No, that was the week before.
Okay. And so
it was Monday Night Football that they had he played the Broncos. So
they lost though, right? Because they scored that interception.
Yep.
Right.
But it was
I think it was the Broncos.
Was it the Broncos?
Yeah, he had 430 something yards, 4 touchdowns and 3 picks.
So this week,
there. But yeah, I think that's what his stats was that game. But as he's looking that up,
so you're looking at the Browns schedule. Look at Jameis Winston.
Since they're not scared, that was it. Since they're not scared to throw the ball.
No, so that's a. Oh yeah,
that was them. Yeah, he had 497, 4 touchdowns and 3 picks. Which that last pick, which they ran in, which won the game for the Broncos because of that. So they're not scared to move the ball, and that's what you have to be worried about because how you have talked about our secondary has been pretty shaky. So we got to do better.
So this week he had 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
Yeah, and sacked 3 times. So 2 things that we haven't done well, which he's been getting sacked. So we got to get some sacks, which we did last week. Turk Wharton is stepping up with 2. Come on, Turk.
Come on, Turk.
And then
and O'Menahue was after.
Yeah,
he was after
I'd love
Herbert.
to see him back. Yes,
he was after.
Some
he
pressures.
caused a lot of havoc in that pocket.
So teams been able to sack and get turnovers, and those 2 things that we need. So let's do that. But again, secondary has to be on guard because they will throw that ball downfield.
Yep,
they are not scared of it.
Nope.
That's my take there. So.
Yep. Nope. I agree. I agree. So you kind of already jumped to the second. What do we need to do to beat them? So I mean, but that's good. That's good because like I agree with all of it. I don't think there's anything that you said that I would add to because realistically, that's what we've been talking about for the last 3-4 weeks since the Buffalo game. We got to get after the quarterback. We got to do better in the secondary. We have to be able to block these all-star defensive ends that it seems like we're playing every week.
That is true.
It seems like Chiefs have one of the hardest schedules this season.
Yeah,
they do. And even in the division, even with the Raiders, they have some of the best pass rushers in the league.
Yeah, I mean this week starts this Sunday is the first game of 3 games in like 10 days or something.
Yeah, 11 days.
11 days.
Yep. So we play the 15th. We play the 21st.
The Saturday.
And then we play the 25th.
On Christmas, which is Wednesday.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
Which Chris Jones said he's going to NFLPA to talk about, hey, if we're going to have 3 games in 11 days, 10 days, we need to have a late week or a late year bye.
Yep. That's why I think we got to shore up this this first place.
Okay.
So then I think against the Broncos, you can rest some of those guys. Because here's the thing, you get rest there. And then if you get the first round bye, you get rest there as well. You got to think we played every game in the postseason and the Super Bowl. Like the last few years, a lot of extra games and time and wear on these guys. And so that little break at the end would be so nice to have.
100%. So my opinion, I think we should hit the geez, what is the updates? Holy updates, bro. Go to the Buffalo schedule, please. So I'm trying so hard to work this stupid iPad. It don't want to work. But
slap it.
Like if Buffalo loses this week, they're playing they're playing Detroit.
Yep.
If Buffalo loses this week, I say we rest players on Saturday's game against the Texans.
I don't think they'll do it.
I don't think they will either, but I think it would be smart because then you have a break. You essentially give like some of your starters an extra week, right? You get 11 days between games, and then you have an additional
Wednesday
11 games between or 13 days between the next game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good thought.
So if we are 2 games, so if the Bills lose this week and they wind up having 4 losses, and we win this week, we essentially have 3 games on them, ish.
Well, then the next one you have to stay up on is Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Which
is why we want them. Like if we rest them against Houston, we play Pittsburgh the next week.
Yeah.
You're giving our guys rest going into the team that's third in the AFC. Well, they're actually tied for second right now in the AFC. You know?
They've got a tough.
They do have a tough.
Yeah, so they've got
at
Philly
least
this
3 of those
week.
games.
They've got Baltimore the week after. They got us on Christmas, and then they've got Cincinnati the end of the season,
which is a division game.
Yeah. So I mean,
yeah, that's true.
Honestly, if realistically, I think we should try to rest people. If say the Steelers lose this week too, Steelers and Bills lose this week, they're playing two teams that are top of the NFC, right? 1 and 2 in the NFC.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking you rest guys against the Texans and give them an opportunity. Rest Mahomes. Like throwing Carson Wentz for a game against Houston, maybe get him some reps going into the postseason in case something happens, you know. And then if we clinch the division, the last couple of weeks, you rest Mahomes against Denver. I don't care taking 3 losses on the season if it means that other teams, like if it means we still have the number 1 seed.
Sure.
You know. Mm-hmm. So that's my thought on it. I think we win this game. I think it's going to be like 31 to like 14. I think we force a lot of turnovers. What do you think, like score wise?
I think we'll win by 10.
Okay.
I think we'll win by 10.
Cool.
And I think we'll.
It's a game for the offense to go off.
Yeah, I don't think they'll score more than 17 points.
Okay.
And I think we'll win by 10.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, I mean, that's kind of like you guys have known the format for the past few weeks. we're just going to talk Chiefs for the podcast, and we'll kind of go into. We still got that video that's going to come up for our picks of the week, but Dionte, you got anything else? Close this out.
No, I do not. I don't.
Josiah, you got anything?
Man.
No.
All right, boys. Well, it's good to have you back, man.
Yeah,
glad you're back. So until next time, guys, thy kingdom come.